Welcome to the Los Alamitos weekend preview. This for the weekend of April 2nd and 3rd. And Michael, happy to see your face once again. I feel like fresh off the layoff, off a little bit of a break. But how about a Golden Boy getting up in the final strides last weekend?
Phenomenal. That horse, he really gets the adrenaline rush going, doesn't he? For all fans of quarter horse racing, he's the reigning AQHA champion 2-year-old colt. And he has begun his 3-year-old season in spectacular fashion. And of course, you were back from your vacation on the TVG set to take that big race performance in. But I'm glad to learn that you had a wonderful time in the week preceding that on your vacation, and you even took a bit of money out of the cruise ship casino. That's a good trick.
They're already calling me like, when are you going to come back? You know, when you come back and visit us again. So, but I had a good time. It was my daughter's first spring break. It was her first school year, so first spring break. So we decided to take a little bit of a trip down south, and I had a few margaritas in your name for sure. But yeah, getting back to the set was a good time to enjoy the performance from Golden Boy in that Sunday night thriller and the nightcap. And I'm looking forward to the 3-year-old crop this year, because he's right there in the mix of things. And there's going to be a lot more talented runners coming in, like the 2 million winner. Hopefully we get to see him this season here at Los Alamitos. But
Bomb Cyclone.
Yes, Bomb Cyclone. Yeah, he looks sensational winning that 2 million. Hopefully we get to see him here at Los Al competing as a 3-year-old. All right.
Yeah, but so, the Golden State Million Futurity from last year, Golden Boy was the fastest qualifier, missed the final through illness. Whiskey Glasses wins the race. Here we have the first matchup between the pair, and there's a head between them at the finish. What else do you want? What more could you wish for? It's fantastic.
Yes, that sets the tone for sure for the rest of the season. And now the new crop of 2-year-olds are coming up this season. This week we'll have, actually on Saturday's card, we're going to take a look at Saturday's card. We'll have plenty of 2-year-old starters here on this card. We'll talk about horses with experience as far as your selection, but you're going to have to do a lot of duty calling all those workouts before the race on Saturday. So the people that want to see these workouts all condensed into one show, you can tune into the Los Alamitos live feed before the race on Saturday, and Michael Runner will be presenting those workouts for the viewing public.
Yes, all the workouts are available, of course, individually at losalamitos.com, a terrific resource. But if you do want the condensed package, after I announce the changes at 30 minutes to post each evening, then we show every gate work. And in the case of a card with 4 2-year-old races for the first-time starters, I'll be pretty much talking over gatework videos between the changes and the post-parade for race 1. So I'll feel like I'm almost a spent force by the time they're going to the gate for the first. But that's a good time to tune in to the actual live feed of the Los Alamitos race signal, and you'll see all of those gateworks for the 2-year-olds.
Yep, so tune in there on Saturday night. So let's go to the races on Saturday. And I know you're going to take us to race number 4, which is actually the first leg of the Pick 6.
Yes, well, because of so many 2-year-old races, there are not that many straightaway races with exposed form. And this is the first time, and you or Chris can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the first time we've made a selection for this preview show in the same race.
Yes.
I know he's going with a horse in the same event. The 2 races at either end of the Pick 6 sequence, races 4 and the stakes race, the 9th, are both fantastic betting races, very interesting affairs. Yeah. This allowance at 300 yards must have stumped Ed Burgard to some extent, because he's got 5 horses listed on the morning line from 3-1 to 5-1. And Chris has picked one of them. I'm picking the longest shot of that group, the 5-1 pop, Nevada Charles number 5. But I'm sure that Chris will agree with me when you talk to him that the chances do not end there. This is a highly contentious race, full of intrigue and interest. But Nevada Charles strikes me as a reasonable value play, Jose. The horse in a trial to the El Primero del Año Derby on the 6th of March had every chance, as we'll see in this replay. He had gate 2, and he finished 4th after being up there in the fight all the way. But still, I think there was merit enough in the performance when you consider that the closing split was 9.38. Golden Boy, who went on to win the final, and the grey horse Tip of My Tongue, who ended up finishing in the minor placings in the final, finished first and third in this race. And Nevada Charles from gate 2 was just beaten out of that minor placing. Look how close he finished to Tip of My Tongue, the grey horse, who came out for that minor placing in the final. So I think that that's a pretty solid performance from a horse who 2 starts prior on December 12 in the evening snow stakes was only a half length behind a political Candy V, who proceeded to go on a rampage into the early part of 2022, leading into the Winter Derby. So I think 5-1's reasonable odds. He's cutting back from 400 yards, which may have been slightly beyond him, to 300 yards. And at 5-1, worth a play.
And always nice when you can get a rider of Jesus Rios Ayala's caliber to take the mount. So I'm in agreement. I think Nevada Charles prefers the shorter 300-yard distance based on what we've seen previously from him.
Yeah, I agree. First time with Ayala, but you should not shirk from that. It's obviously he's a high-level, top-quality riding engagement. So Nevada Charles, I think at 5-1, worth a go. There's the horse stuck in probate, who's got gate 3, was in the same race, the same trial to the El Primero del Año Derby, finished behind Nevada Charles, but did have trouble at the gate. So he certainly can move forward off that effort. And as I mentioned earlier, the chances don't end there. It's going to be a fantastic race. The outside trio in the gate, Vamoosing, Daytona 1000, Terrific Chrome, they've all got chances. So I'm not bristling with confidence about Nevada Charles. I'm just suggesting that 5-1 is a fair price.
Yeah, and that's going to be a key leg because it is the closing leg of the early pick 4 and also the beginning leg of the $2 pick 6. All right, Michael, looking forward to your presentation of all the workouts before the races on Saturday night. You can tune into the Los Alamitos live signal and enjoy those workouts. And also you can go to losalamitos.com and click on them right now live at your leisure. Mike Corona, thank you for that selection. That is Nevada Charles in race number 4.
Good on you, mate. I'll need a lozenge before race 1 on Saturday night.
Talk to you then.
Hooroo.
The traditional $2 pick 6 at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And our pools continue to increase. On Saturday, January 8th, a one-night carryover of $34,000 led to a huge total pool of over $184,000. And our $10,000 pick 6 promo on eligible Sunday nights consistently resulted in total pools of over $60,000. And the payouts can be tremendous. And remember, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos is continuing to add $10,000 to the pick 6 pool. The traditional $2 pick 6. A great bet, a great deal. Always at Los Alamitos.
All right, for the first time ever, I'm staying off of this one because we have a duel off. Christopher Wade, Mike Corona, same race, different selection. Mike already gave us his case for his selection, but welcome back to the program, Chris. And I know you like a horse also here in race number 4.
Yeah, we like the Terrific Chrome in tonight's 4th event, closing out the early pick 4. And it's a field of 8, but on my numbers, there are 6 horses that figure within half a length to 3/4 of a length, so it could go any number of ways. I'm going to give this horse a look. Second time for Paul Jones. Get to know the horse a little bit better. Horse had some trouble in that first time for Paul Jones. And on my figures, he earned a pretty good figure with everything factored in with the trouble track variant. His numbers are right there near the top. He comes out of post number 7. He was number 7 in that field of 6 that night with the scratch. But this horse did have some trouble in that affair, and it's kind of slow in the stride. It's under a hand shove early, was actually a bit midway, and was finishing relatively well, and he was basically taking a hold of near the wire with a little bit more run left to give. So he's a nice size animal, tapped right there, and he's finishing steadily on his own, or a little bit of a hold to the wire there, and earned a pretty good figure with the trouble track variant that puts him in the mix, and drawn well in a closely matched affair. Hopefully he'll get a clear path away from the gate and move forward a little bit. Second time Paul Jones, and be a big factor there at 4-1 in the program in a very closely matched event and close out that early pick 4.
It is a very closely matched event, but I kept looking at his breeding line, that mare, Terrific Energy. I mean, he's bred to really, get better with age. Not only he's still, a 3-year-old, 9 races. And probably the outside post is probably where you want to be, right, for a horse like this.
Yes, you want to be on the outside post because he's a nice size animal. And I think he's going to break a little bit better here tonight because he has had a tendency to break a little bit slow and get into some trouble. So hopefully drawn on outside. My only concern is he's drawn up against a Daytona 1000 who comes off a victory at the 100-yard affair, 110-yard affair. So this horse could have a target to run at. And if he breaks clean, he's got a big look here at the final half of the affair to post a little minor upset in that early pick 4 finishing leg.
All right, we got a little bit of a selection face-off. Nevada Charles versus Terrific Chrome. Thank you for that analysis and that selection, Chris. All right, in addition to all your Los Alamitos analysis, do you have anything else for the players in the Nightlines program?
Yeah, we got some tough races. Don't forget Remington Park runs on Saturday night. They got trials for one of their big futurities, and we'll help you along the way with we're handicapping races 4 through 11, and got some good-looking 2-year-olds off the videotape. So take a gander at the Nightline programs holders in the back of the Remington Park section. Try to help you along the way with those 2-year futurity trial races.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to that analysis, and you can catch it in the print edition of the Nightlines from Christopher Wade. Chris, have a good evening, and we'll see you out there at Los Al this weekend. Welcome back to the program. Now joined by Professor G. The horse, Professor G, actually made the first start last weekend as well. We got the human representation of Professor G. Welcome to the program, Orlando.
Thanks so much, Jose. And Jose, you got to tell me here.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like the nice vacation break that just kind of refreshed your mind a little bit? Or was it the beautiful coast of, the coast of Mexico down there? Because you came back on Sunday night and we're just hitting left and right. I mean, what did you hit? You just had a tremendous night handicapping.
Maybe I should take more breaks, Orlando. It's happened. I think the last time I took a significant break was when my daughter was born. It was the same thing. Like I came back on fire. Maybe handicapping on a beautiful boat off the coast of Mexico cannot hurt at all. But it was a good night. Both pick fours on TVG hit. Took a good swing at the pick 6. Orlando came up a bit short. But a place pick all. The place pick all had been eluding me, Orlando. I had been so close to some nice place pick alls, but this Sunday night it was a $12 ticket, 7 singles, maybe a 2 legs of 2 horses in a 3-horse field. That closed out a nice place pick all. So you can get all those selections for every race for me in the Nightlines. So we had a good productive night Sunday night.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the margaritas,
yes,
a little bit tequila, maybe that didn't hurt us either.
No,
right?
The bartender was like this. The bartender was like this on the margaritas. I just didn't say stop, so it can help. But no, all things considered, it was a good night on Sunday night. Good to be back on site. Place pick all paid about $2,000, but what a tremendous performance by not only Sweet Test from that inside post. We'll talk more about that performance. But how about that closing kick of Golden Boy to run down that other Millionaire Futurity winner, Orlando?
Yeah, it was a heck of a race. We kind of figured that Golden Boy, Whiskey Glasses were the 2 big names going into the race. And sure enough, the first half of the race, Whiskey Glasses was right there leading the way. But Golden Boy, midway point, that's when Ruben Lozano said, man, I know I got it. I know I got it. This horse is coming on strong. And sure enough, the champion just kind of represented that championship pedigree that he has, wins impressively, and holds off the outside horse who was making a nice run. Tip of my tongue there.
Yes.
If Tip of my tongue somehow hits the wire first ahead of Golden Boy, we have a 3-night carryover going into this weekend. It would have been like a $200 and something $1,000 6 carryover. It would have been huge, but not Golden Boy. Didn't let it happen. The big champion gets the job done.
And also, Orlando, I wouldn't have minded that result because remember, I had the place pick all single to Golden Boy. So other people hit it because the other favorite got second. So if somehow the 10 ends up second, or like you said, defeats ends up the
Yeah.
winning, and Golden Boy gets second. I still hit, and I'm thinking it's going to pay much more than what it actually did. So
Sure.
that was a tremendous performance from those top three runners in that Derby on Sunday night. So looking forward to the rest of the season for the 3-year-old division, but also we're going to talk babies, Orlando. How about this? 4 2-year-old races on Saturday night. Lots of workout reviews that we had to do for this program.
Yeah, I mean, my eyeballs right now need a little bit of a break there. We've been watching a lot of works. I think we watched 31 gate drills for Saturday's program. We have a nice 9-race card. And like you mentioned, lots of quarter horse races. The feature attraction is the James Smith Memorial Handicap, a $20,000 race at 350 yards for 3-year-olds in a really good group. We'll talk about them a little bit later on in the show. Race number 4 is also a nice group of runners as well. You got Vamoosing, horse that won the California Breeders' Freshman Stakes, starting from post number 6. You have Daytona 1000, who ran in the Los Alamitos Winter Derby. There it is, 7-2 morning line odds, and it's coming off of a speed sharpening victory at 110 yards. On the inside, number 3, Stuck in Probate.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought this horse had a chance to beat Golden Boy in the trials to the El Primero del Año Derby. Well, I was wrong about that one, but Stuck in Probate, a horse that we've seen do some good things here at Los Alamitos with a nice, solid, strong kick. And Nomad, the number 2 horse, Nomad, now trained and owned by Luke Lindsey, claimed for $10,000 by Luke Lindsey. I had a chance to talk to Luke this morning, Thursday morning, to talk about Nomad, what he really liked about this horse when he made that $10,000 purchase, and a few more things. Here's Luke Lindsey.
The mare is out of, and I was looking for a horse at the time. I got lucky, won the shake. There was 13 shakes. So coming out of that, I just wanted to freshen him up and try him on allowance, and he ran huge. So we're staying that route, see what we can do.
The ability to get out of the gate, because it's a 300-yard race. In the last few starts, he's been making ground as he's moved forward. How do you see that happening going into this race? That's something that you kind of try to focus on?
Well, Ruben got him out of the gate real good this last time. And a couple races before, I'd seen he hadn't been relieving real well and then closing. So hopefully we can get out of the gate again. Caesar's riding him this time, but that's how things work out.
A shake, 13-way shake, you said you won.
Shake, yeah.
Is that the biggest shake that you've been a part of, and especially winning one?
Actually, I won another one with Dance Dakota Dance, and he was 15. So I got lucky twice.
So you got the luck with the shakes.
And the gray horse.
And the gray horse, absolutely. What else is happening in your barn? You got some 2-year-olds. I know that Mr. Dickerson, you won some races for him with some of his runners.
Yeah, we're coming up on the Derby Challenge. We have 2 nominated, but we'll only be running one. The CM Blue Bayou, he won
The one that won.
He won a couple weeks ago. So, and Randy's babies are just going to be here on Saturday. So then we'll start getting them ready.
Busy days ahead.
Busy days ahead.
So how about that, Orlando? Luke won a 13-way shake for Nomad. Is that what I heard correctly?
That's right. And I asked him, was that the record, for you winning a shake? He's like, no, I won a 15-way shake one. So, it happens. And I think he also said it was another gray horse. So
yeah,
he's had some luck with those shakes. And he did mention as well that Ruben Lozano not riding Nomad because Ruben is going to ride for the trainer that he's always on, Valentin Zamudio. He'll be riding Vamoosing in that race. But Luke Lindsey gets Cesar Franco on number 2, Nomad, 8-1 on the morning line. And if this horse can just break, he's shown that he's got some pretty good closing ability. But it's a really good field up and down in this race. I kind of like the number 7, Daytona 1000, after that really sharp win at 110 yards. I think that's going to really help him just leave that gate in from an outside post.
All right, so you already told us our selection, Orlando, and your selection for this race, but we had a first ever pick face-off because both Mike Corona, Christopher Wade, they had a selection in this race. That's the first time we had a same selection in the same race, a different selection in the same race by our 2 guests here on the show. So they went with Nevada Charles, that was Mike Corona, Christopher Wade went with Terrific Chrome. You're picking Daytona 1000, and I'm picking Stuck in Probate. 4 different selections in the same race. That kind of tells you how we think of a wide open this race is. So.
Absolutely. So we can't ignore the other horses because Hopeful Blue is a stakes winner here on Los South, right in the Wild West. And Goretti, I've always liked Goretti, but just hasn't stepped up and done a big race yet. But the horse has won a couple of races here. So up and down, we have a really, really good feel. Should be exciting way to close out the early pick 4, and also a great way to kick off the pick 6.
All right, a great way to kick off the pick 6. And, in the pick 6 sequence, we're going to have 4 2-year-old races. The babies here are, really getting rolling here now in this season at Los Al. A lot of these runners will see them wheel back in the trials for the kindergarten futurity that will be coming, those trials on April 24th later on in the month. So maybe we'll showcase a few workouts here for the betting public, Orlando. With Mike Arona, we talked about how he will be putting the package together and talking about every workout on Saturday night before the races. So you want to tune in to the Los Alamitos live signal. He shows up the workouts for every horse running that specific card, and he gives you the kind of the rundown of those workouts as well. But here's the race number 5. This is the mid-card double, rolling pick 3s, field of 6, Orlando. And I can see the morning line has the 6 Valiantly as a tepid 2-1 choice.
Yeah, and this horse was purchased for $80,000. Was at the Heritage Place sale. Dennis Jensen and Randy Young won the kindergarten futurity last year with Fire Fast Honey. So kind of took that money that they won and went back and reinvested it in on another filly, and they come away with Valiantly, filly by Valiant Hero here. And should be a really, really good race. I kind of like that work because there's 2 horses in that work where Valiantly comes out of, One Sweet Duck being the other one. And we're going to see both of them racing on Saturday night. And that was a really, really competitive work. Both of them performed really nicely in the morning. One of them going 12-3, that one being One Sweet Duck, and Valiantly going 12-4 for Dennis Jensen and Randy Young.
All right, we'll pick it right up here with the workout, Orlando. And we're going to make note of this workout because the workmate is also running later on tonight as well, right?
Yeah, One Sweet Duck. He is going to be working from the outside post. We have Valiantly going from the inside post. Valiantly goes 12-4. One Sweet Duck's going to win this work going 12-3. One Sweet Duck, I think they pushed him pretty good in here. Meanwhile, Valiantly kind of leaned back when the gate opened. Lost a little bit of ground to One Sweet Duck. She quickly recovered, was just slightly behind her rival under a hand right, but continued nicely from there. Good gallop out. One Sweet Duck, meanwhile, pretty solid drill all around for that good-looking horse.
Yeah, you can see both those workouts. Both workouts were solid. They both look very professional in the respective workouts there, and they look like runners ready to really make an impact. First time out here at Los Alamitos. So watch out for Valiantly in the first of those baby races, and watch out for the workmate later on in the card. All right, so let me scroll down to where we were at before we disconnected. There's Valiantly there, 2-1 on the morning line. And then race number 6. All these races are 220 yards. There's a field of 8 runners, so a larger field in this spot. And I wanted to kind of highlight one of these runners here that might be a little bit of a price. And I'll get the workout here ready. And that horse is going to be Why Not Up? Why Not Up?
One of those things to note and look at, since we have so many baby races going on Saturday night, is that some of these horses have worked twice. Yeah. Some of them have only worked once. So usually we see an improvement on these juveniles the second workout around. So it's kind of something to kind of remember as you're handicapping these races, that some of these runners, First Nava Cartel, Why Not Up, both of these have worked twice. The other ones have only worked once.
And I believe we had an impressive debut winner last week that had worked twice. Just looked much more professional than everybody else. So here's the latest workout for Why Not Up. Yeah. Here it is, the workout for Why Not Up on the outside. You see that hopping at the start, a little bit of a bobble there. But once this horse, recovered the stride, watch the rider. Very quiet hands here, just trying to keep this horse in the right direction. And look how he's lengthening those strides, still eager to go. The rider's not asking at all. I just like how he was reaching with long strides. And when you factor in the hop and a little bit of a bobble, 1270 is not a bad time, all things considered, for a runner like this here. And like you make note, this is the second workout, so might be a little bit more professional next time out.
And I really like the just the physical appearance by Why Not Up. Just looks like a good looking big horse, typical of those Ed Allred bred runners. So definitely want to watch Why Not Up. Just a little note in race number 6. On number 6, just knockout in this race, Jose. Did you see who the mare is?
Miss KO. Yes.
She last ran on December of 2021, and she just worked on March 1st. So Miss KO still active as a runner here, and now one of her babies ready to make his racing debut here in race number 6.
Yes, we can see. We're just getting older by the day, Orlando, because we're seeing recent mares, right, with babies already running. I mean, look about the half, the 7, the mare, this Boogie Fire. That's a half to J Fire Up. J Fire Up was a champion here, just racing a few years ago with babies now running. So time is flying by, Orlando. Time is flying by.
Jose, I can remember Attack the Cartel.
Yes.
Secretly Hot, who was the Governor's Cup. Why Not Win? I mean, these are all horses that I covered. Now they got babies running, and these are like their second, third, fourth babies. It's like, man, I'm really getting old.
Time is flying by. Race number 7, the third of four baby races this Saturday night. This is a field of 7 in this spot, and we got One Sweet Duck in the gate 5. We saw that workout of the workmate who was valiantly, right? That was the workout mate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Are we gonna see that again, or do we want to look at Frivolous?
Actually, let's look at, since people can rewind it. So let's go to Frivolous. Why not show Frivolous here? And this workout is also key here because all 3 runners in this workout are racing tonight in different races. So this might be a workout to review as well, and kind of rewind a couple of times for the viewers as they watch through this video. But let's focus on Frivolous. Was Frivolous on the outside, Orlando?
He's going to be the outside horse, a favorite cartel colt out of the stakes-winning mare Nymph. So that makes him a full brother to Monopolist, a grade 2 futurity winner, Monopolist. Frivolous purchased for $80,000 at the Los Alamitos equine sale. And on this morning, March 19th, had the fastest of 31 gate works, Jose. The horse on the inside is Navaja, who is going to run in race number 5. Mm-hmm. And the horse in the middle is First Nava Cartel, who's racing in the 6th. But look at Frivolous here. Broke okay, but he really found a good gear about 20, 30 yards into the race, was hustled a little bit early, floated inside, but he was striding beautifully in those last final 50 yards, just guzzling up the ground as he was getting close to the wire, and just a very, very solid work from Frivolous.
Yeah, so that's a pretty nice workout, leveling out on the outside. He talked about the breeding lines there, and this one looks good, professional, ready to go. So purchased for $80,000 at the Los Alamitos equine sale last season. So, okay, moving right along to race number 8, Orlando. This is the start of the late daily double. One workout, we'll start with the inside runner. He's chickless because this one was the bullet best workout out of 32 that morning on March 19th. And this colt looked sharp in that workout.
Yeah, a horse that's in everything. If you see that page right there, he's nominated to every one of the big races. Chiquitita is the mare. He's relentless, Desire, and he's relentless will outwork Forever Dynasty 12-3 versus 12-6. Forever Dynasty is also running on Saturday night in race number 7. We'll see if he's chickless from the outside post, and he's going to hop a little bit out of the gate. We'll move to the inside. Will be hustled early on, but he's going to respond really nice. Look at the way that he just separates away from Forever Dynasty, and he'll just continue to pull away all the way to the finish line. Strong finish, and just keeps gliding during his gallop out. So a pretty good-looking horse here. He's chickless by a tremendous runner. He's Relentless, who's rapidly becoming a big name sire as well.
And I like the way when he leveled out, when the rider kind of just put the hands down low and kind of let him eased out. And to me, body language, that looked like it was Juan Pablo Leon aboard. He's chickless in the morning as well. So bullet workout, best out of 31 workouts that morning for Heath Chicklets. We do have one runner with experience here, which is the 4-horse. Didn't do much showing anything at all in his first start. So we'll have to maybe keep improving and maybe show some improvement in the spot. But you were able to catch up with somebody else here in this race and raid, right?
Yeah, this race, Jose, is a really competitive race. We talked about Heath Chicklets 2-1. One Sweet Bar is 9-5. The 6 J Perfect Deal is 3-1. So 3 horses that Ed Bergar, the morning line maker, is taking a look at and thinking, man, the money's going to kind of be a little bit split between these 3 horses. I did have a chance, Jose, to talk to trainer Lindolfo Diaz about One Sweet Bar. This horse is nominated to the Kindergarten Futurity. A couple of things that kind of caught my eye. The sire, 5 Bar Cartel, was a grade 1 millionaire here at Los Alamitos. And this horse is also a homebred. J. Francisco Diaz, the father of Lindolfo Diaz, bred this runner out of a solid mare, One Sweet Runner. So let's go to Lindolfo Diaz.
Big night of 2-year-old racing this Saturday. 4 races for the 2-year-olds taking place. One of the horses that caught our eye is trained by Lindolfo Diaz, One Sweet Bar. Horse that's coming off of a really sharp work, second fastest of 30 drills. Let's talk about One Sweet Bar, a horse that you actually bred along with your father.
Yes, he's a homebred. He's the first baby out of this mare, which was also a homebred. I trained her. She was a really good One Sweet Jess mare, really solid filly. She ran 3rd in the Gov Cup Derby. She made about close to 80,000. She was a solid honest filly, and this is her first baby. And in the beginning, he was a little green, and so we cut him. And it seemed like he turned the corner as soon as we cut him, and he picked it up, and he looked really, really impressive in that work. He kind of stumbled a little bit, kind of awkwardly, broke a little awkwardly, and he lugged out a little bit, lugged in. He was still a little green, but he looked good. He had a good, nice striding out. Looked good striding out.
What are you looking for this first out when you describe what he went through the first workout? What are you looking for in his first
Hopefully
race?
just a good experience. Hopefully he doesn't get bumped around. Sometimes when they get bumped around, especially in their first race, they kind of get a little bit scared. A lot of some horses, and you never see their full potential. They make mistakes, and hopefully just a clean race, and hopefully he just gets a sharp break. And I think he can finish pretty good. So just at least he can break a little bit better than his work, because the work he kind of broke awkwardly.
Another thing that caught my eye looking at this horse is the sire, 5 Bar Cartel, a grade 1 winner here at Los Alamitos. Now, basically, it stays at Louisiana, breeds a lot of horses there, but we get a chance to see a 5 Bar Cartel here at Los Alamitos.
Yeah, my buddy, my real good friend, Danny Montes, he trained him here, and he won the Ed Burke with him, and every once in a while we tell him, and he helps us out, gives us a breeding here and there. And so we decided to try it on this mare. We thought it might be a good cross. He was an excellent horse. He was a fast horse. So we decided to give him a shot. I have another horse that I bred last year to him that he just won, I think, a 3-year-old a couple weeks ago at a 5 Bar. So he's a good little stud. We don't hear, like you said, a lot of them here. He's usually Louisiana, but because obviously the good pots up there. So, but he's a good stud. So hopefully we can get him another winner.
Yeah, 5 Bar Cartel, a champion, a millionaire. And now looking forward to seeing one of these babies here at Los Alamitos. Thanks so much, Lindolfo.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so this is a homebred operation, true and true, as you see down the bloodlines. This one is a homebred by the Diaz family here. You talked about the sire, 5 Bar Cartel, and this one is, that sire is based in Louisiana. So we see a lot of those runners in Louisiana, but good to see a 5 Bar Cartel here locally, Orlando. And like you mentioned, this race, it looks like a 3-horse race on paper because of that Eric Berger morning line. They've all worked very well in the mornings.
They did, and just a few mentions on the number 6 horse, J Perfect Deal. And like we mentioned before, there's so many horses that we're taking a look at, so many 2-year-olds. I got to kind of struggle here to find my notes on J Perfect Deal. But Called by Doc's best card works solely from the inside post versus KR Bikini Bar. They went 12-4, 12-5, and J Perfect Deal was really fast out of the gate, had a quarter-length lead early on. He sprinted clear after the gap, just put his head down, and went to work on their hand ride. Good flashing speed all the way throughout. So we have 3 really good runners that we're going to be focusing on in race number 8. And of course, there's that 420-1 big odds, but some experience. Bravery, thought that horse had a nice workout as well. And remember, all these workouts are available on losalamitos.com. So if we don't show a workout on this show, if we just happen to not fully speak about one of the horses in this race, all the workouts are available at losalamitos.com for the fans, the listeners to enjoy and see and learn a little bit about these horses.
Yeah, and a few notes that I have here on J Perfect Deal. The dam was a debut winner. She only made 10 starts, but she was a debut winner. So obviously good early pedigree on that one. And drawn towards the outside is probably a good spot to be. You only have to worry about King Storm. But there's going to be an intriguing race there as part of the late pick 4 and pick 6 sequence as well. Like you mentioned, Orlando, all these workouts available at losalamitos.com. And also, if you want to watch them the day of in a full package, easy to consume, Michael Rona will be showing these workouts race by race, horse by horse, before the races on Saturday night. About, 30 minutes to post time?
Yeah, right around 30 minutes to post time. And also, they'll get replayed right before the race happens. So all the horses that are participating in that race will go one by one, showing their latest gate work if they've had a gate work after their last race. So for all these babies, of course, they haven't raced, so we will be showing their gate works prior to their debut.
All right, so that's a look at some of the baby race on Saturday night. Thank you for Michael Rona and Christopher Wade also for giving us a selection. Orlando, babies are in full display. I'm looking at the calendar. Kindergarten Futurity Trials, April 24th.
April 24th. And, of course, all these horses as well, if they're not getting ready for the kindergarten, they're definitely getting ready for that Ed Burke Million. That will be happening towards the end of May with that big night of trials. And, of course, on Saturday night, we have the James Smith Memorial Handicap. A Famous Ribbon is going to be leading the field 2-1 on the morning line. A Famous Ribbon. This horse ran 4th in the Los Alamitos Winter Derby after a very impressive debut here at Los Al in the trials to the Winter Derby. Another horse to watch, the number 5 horse, Up the Ladder, won the Holiday Handicap on our opening night of the 2021/2022 meet. There is Up the Ladder has won each of his last 2 starts, both coming in stakes races. And a horse that I kind of find interesting is the 3 Always, coming off of a couple of victories as well for trainer Juan Aleman. And Doc's Best Lane, also coming off of a nice allowance win. This horse has qualified to some major futurities here at Los Alamitos. A couple of good prices as well on Namgis Azumombai and Mount Valley Eagle. That makes up the field for the James Smith Memorial here on Saturday night.
Let's look at the Saturday night's card, Orlando. We talked about Golden Boy's tremendous performance there on Sunday night. But how about that tremendous performance from that inside post by Sweet Tess on Saturday night to win the Los Alamitos Oaks? And watching Eduardo Nicasio with the number 1 Santa Cloth win a big race is kind of signature now. Kind of takes me back to Apolitical Jest, Champion of Champions. Takes me back to Bomb Cyclone last year in the 2 million. And now he gets to add the Los Alamitos Oaks from the rail with Sweet Tess last weekend.
I don't think there's a jockey here at Los Alamitos that loves riding from post number 1 more than Eduardo Nicasio. He's one of those guys that give me that number 1 post because I have great luck there. And like you said, those 2 big victories that you mentioned at now, Sweet Tess, because she wins the richest running ever of the Los Alamitos Oaks, over $438,000. And Eduardo Nicasio gets the job done from post number 1 for trainer Pat Visscher, owner breeder Edward and Teresa DeNike. And we had the good fortune to stop by on Thursday morning, a few days after the big race happened, to talk to Pat Visscher and just catch up with Sweet Tess. So how about we close out the show just with this interview with Pat Visscher? Really fun race, a fun story to have seen in the running of the Los Alamitos Oaks.
Thank you. So, well, sounds like a great way to wrap up the show. We'll see you out there this weekend at Los Alamitos. Here's Pat Visscher and talking about Sweet Tess and her team here at Los Alamitos.
Never dreamed out of the one hole in 22-1. That was unbelievable. The grandkids were happy and never been to races before, so it was quite different. And the mare came up to the race like a champ. She, everybody was acting up at the gate. Then Nicasio took her out and then brought her back in. And Nicasio is such a great rider. I've tried to get him before, but the one time I did get him, he won the little overnight stake for me, But he's really a super rider. He's got a lot of intelligence, So I was really tickled that Saul had him stay on my horse.
The agent, Saul Service.
Yeah, the agent was really, really good that way, And Jose Nicasio was supposed to stay on him, but he hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
So he couldn't do that. So I got his brother, and it worked out fine for me.
And Eduardo said that when he drew the rail, he told you, Patty, don't worry, I love the rail.
I came in the gate, in the front gate, and they said, "You do the one hole, Pat." And I said, "Yeah, don't tell me about it." And he says, "Well, Nicasio just walked through here, and he said for me, when I see me, don't worry about it." He says, because I love the one hole. I guess he won the $2 million and
He sure did.
And the champions out of that,
Yeah.
But I said, okay, if you're confident in the one hole, I guess I'm supposed to be that way too. But
Tess, how confident were you going into the race?
very much so. She looked good. Her mind was right. She just did everything. Every time Nicasio come and galloped her, he said, "Man, she's getting better and better and better." So he says she just feels great and she looks great. She just peaked at the right time. I believe that. So
Yeah, because she had a heck of a trial race.
Yeah.
And then came back
Came back.
Yeah.
And it's just like she ran in a race now, And a lot of horses, and I've been in it for so many years, but a lot of horses are laying down, they're not eating, It's like she didn't do anything. She's just as sweet and calm as she's always been, stands in the front of the stall and waits till you come over and pet her,
You had mentioned that you were going to look, you as well as Mr. Ed the Nike owner and breeder, we're going to look for a spot to give her a little bit of a break.
Yeah, but then he found the La Pacifica.
Yeah.
So he said, we'll break after the La Pacifica. So I gave her a 60-day break here at the barn. And we walked her around the barn area, and we just let her enjoy herself that way. And she did too, It was amazing. She'd walk around and she'd flip her tail up, and she'd see some horses, and she'd look at them, and and Billy'd stop, and she was just happy with it. And then we put her in the round pen, and she loved that, and she played around in there, and she just worked out really good for that 60 days.
Yeah. Billy Salcedo, the person you mentioned, big part of your team.
Yeah. Billy, he did, walked her around, did all the stuff with her. He, did all that. So that's important. Horses have got to just relax. They don't have to have all that pressure on them all the time. And once they get that, then their mind gets better, I think, But she's just been a really nice horse to work with, and she's a sweetheart, and she's I don't know if they're going to take an embryo out of her later on in the year or what they're going to do, but they're going to do something, like that. I've suggested doing the embryo because of the 4-year-old year, so I like to run her as a 4-year-old because there's a lot of nice filly and mare races. Yeah, when I had Enjoyed the Moment, I went 3 stakes with her as a 4-year-old, so that's important too. But her mother been the La Pacifica, so who knows? But her mother wasn't quite like this one. Her mother was a toughie. She was a separatist mare, and she was really tough. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on just a very memorable win.
Yes.
Hoping that you're enjoying a barbecue to celebrate later.
Yeah, pretty soon if he ever gets here, because I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go home.